Tonight on Country Squire Radio, what's a dress pipe? I honestly don't know the answer to that question, but this guy does. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, we got a quick fire question on deer tongue, also something I have no earthly idea what it is. I'm going to be learning a lot tonight, and so will you if you're joining us here on Country Squire Radio. Welcome to Country Squire Radio. I'm Beau.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Beau, good evening, man.
Man, wait. Nope.
Is it not a good evening?
It is not a good evening.
Oh, why?
Because I forgot to hit record.
What'd you goof up?
No, I'm glad that I actually I just got this. Pardon us, guys. We're running a little bit.
Just a little frazzled.
We're cutting it quick here.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
we're on time, but just barely.
All right, I think I'm gonna have to stand up because I did not.
You do your thing. You gotta adjust.
Hold on a second, Beau.
All right. So while John David is adjusting his mic, I will tell you guys about something kind of fun that happened this past week. This weekend, we actually at Potastery Studios hosted a live podcast. We actually had another podcast come in to record this show live. It was a lot of fun. We got to show off the studio. Replaced all the bulbs with these Shark Tank. Different color changing bulbs. You can make them go from green to orange and all that kind of cool stuff. It was pretty sweet. Fun show. Had beers and live entertainment.
It's just good to have that, kind of live audience thing.
Absolutely.
I couldn't figure this out, so we'll just stand up tonight.
Okay, you gonna be all right?
I'll be fine. It's just gonna be, I'm such a creature of habit. So sitting down while we're recording is just kind of a thing for me. But yeah, we'll make it. It's always good for to have something new.
I feel thrown off, man.
I know.
Plus, you shut off the thing where my whiskey is. And I was about to go for it and slam my hand on it.
Oh, okay. We'll open it up.
We're gonna open this up. There we go.
The beautiful thing about that is, if the whiskey's under there where you can't get to it, then you can't, spill it all over your expensive equipment.
But I can spray it all over the place.
We have so many listeners that good, faithful live show listeners that are like. They'll occasionally write or tweet or call in. They'll be like, why doesn't Beau just put it behind?
It's behind me. That's where it is. That's where it is. All right. Shall we start this as if everything is going right? You relight your pipe. Got so many things, man. We got a big show tonight. Gifts, big announcement, all this kind of good stuff. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Welcome to Country Squire Radio. I'm Beau.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Beau. Good evening, man.
Man, good evening to you, sir. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. Enjoying my Dunhill Shell Briar pipe with some Country Squire Merryweather and drinking a little fine whiskey with one of my best friends. So I'm doing great.
Man, that Merryweather has a great,
oh
my gosh.
Just such a sweet natural blend, super Virginia's, just a dash of burley. Just real creamy and good. Good tobacco.
We've mentioned it before, but of course you've got this ancient smoke eater that hangs right above where we record, and for the quality of the audio, it's always turned off, which means while you smoke your pipe, the smoke lingers and everything.
That's right.
And
generally, if you're here and the smoke eater's on, it kind of gets sucked away, So you don't get to see it linger as much.
Have you had to upgrade since getting the cigar crowd in here more?
Yeah, we actually bought a whole new unit. Yeah, so we've actually doubled our capacity with the smoke eater because it's just so incredibly potent. Yeah, as our cigar business has grown and we've had more cigar folks come in through the years. We've just had to. As much as I love the smell of pipe and cigar smoke, it's just too much, particularly for the neighbors. We are in a kind of a old-fashioned outdoor shopping center here in central Mississippi, right off the highway, and so we just want to be real considerate of our neighbors. They don't necessarily appreciate the fine smell of premium pipe tobacco as much as we do. So it's funny, the lady right next door, she's real sweet, but they've got a little spa over there, and
spa.
We call it that maybe generously, but but they so next door they'll be having massages or doing fingernails or whatever you do at a spa, and I'm like, they're occasionally offended by our tobacco smell. And I'm just like, well, what if we don't like the smell of your, avocado water or your, cucumber
aloe vera?
I don't know. I mean, maybe those cranberry candles that you're burning over there at Christmas time just aren't our favorite thing.
Can you imagine a massage parlor that'll actually allow you to smoke your pipe while you're getting a massage? I think maybe there's
a business model.
There's a whole market segment. Yeah.
No. That's great. That's great. And we will cease the discussion of massage parlors at that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, what we won't cease is talking about how much we really appreciate all of you who are tuning in live. Want to encourage you, if you are tuning in live during the show tonight, tweet at us. At Squire Radio is our handle. Twitter at Squire Radio. We do use YouTube for the actual recording process. I know that YouTube has kind of a live chat function, and one of the things that we try to do is kind of have one primary place where we can kind of monitor the incoming questions and comments and that sort of thing. So the best way, if you've got a comment or you want to make some commentary, meme it up as people want to do, Twitter is going to be the best method for that, as that's kind of the channel that we watch. So to all of those that are tuning in on YouTube, feel free to tweet into us during the live show. We'll be taking a look at that for your commentary, questions, and otherwise. Now, man, a little bit of housekeeping. We got to give a major shout out and thank you to it's Jordan Crowder. Is that correct?
Yeah, Jordan. Jordan had us on, or had me on his new podcast, The Gentleman's Scofflaw. This was just last week, I guess. Yeah, and came out with the episode, I think just a couple days ago. But it was great. We got to just kind of talk about the nature of pipe tobacco in today's world, and of course the regulation stuff that's going on, but also just kind of the I don't know, some interesting tidbits and concepts about modern pipe tobacco culture, which you and I, of course, talk about a lot here at the shop. So, yeah, man, it was really great. Jordan, good friend of the show, good friend of the Squire, and man, we hope to be able to collaborate with them more down the road. We definitely recommend you check out their podcast. You can find it, of course, on iTunes or Satchel.
Absolutely, yes. Check that out. Big thanks. Yeah, I tuned in, man. I enjoyed listening to that one and hearing some of the origins of the Country Squire, and in fact the secret origins of John David Cole. So definitely check out this podcast if you haven't gotten a chance. Again, it's called the Gentleman Scofflaw Podcast. Man, also another special thanks to Drew Causey. Did I pronounce his last name correct?
You nailed it.
Oh, did I really?
You nailed it.
Okay, because I've been mispronouncing it like the entire history of the show. But big ups to Drew. Now, Drew came down for, correct me if I'm wrong, his third pipe pilgrimage.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Drew's from Kentucky, and man, it was so cool, and we were so honored to have him and his friends. Once a year, Drew and a bunch of old friends of his get together here in Jackson, Mississippi. And the only significance of Jackson is because it's a kind of a middle point for all of their locations. So they've got folks in, I think,
Jackson, the center of their universe.
I know, that's right. Nobody else is, but theirs for some reason. So they have folks, I think, in Texas and Kentucky and Louisiana, maybe Georgia. I can't remember. They're scattered all over though. And so, for whatever reason, Jackson just became kind of the center, for them to get together. And Drew, a longtime pipe smoker, a couple of years ago found our podcast, and he was like, well, wait a second, that guy, the Country Squire, those guys are in Jackson, Mississippi. That's where we go. And so, man, last year they, every year they kind of have this pastor's retreat where they, come to Jackson, let their guard down. They said, if you haven't rested, you're failing. Like that's the whole, that's the whole point of their trip is like you rest. And if you haven't rested, you have failed. And so, man, it's just really cool to be a part of that. And so, man, it was great. We had probably, I don't know, maybe 10 guys come at the shop that night, and man, brought us some goodies. Brought us some great treats. So,
as you mentioned, our boys from Kentucky here, so hooked us up with some very special gifts. Now, for me, he brought me some Eagle Rare. Now, I've got that on the live show, so I'm kind of showing it on the camera here. I'll be sure to take a picture of it, assuming that there'll still be some left. As you can see, I've already kind of I was going to save this for a special occasion.
Yeah.
But you know what? I thought, hey,
making it through a Monday nowadays,
that's
a special occasion. Yeah, absolutely.
So I've definitely been enjoying some of this Eagle Right, man. This is my first time ever having this. And if I'm not mistaken, from what he told us, this is actually from Buffalo Trace, which is one of my favorite bourbons, although now that may have changed with as much as I've been enjoying that.
It's really, really tasty. I don't know what the Eagle Rare retails for, but it is righteous. Yeah.
Probably outside my price point.
No. Drew was kind enough also to bring me a bottle of Russell's Reserve. It's 10-year-old and made, I believe, at the folks at the Wild Turkey Factory. I'm not exactly sure about all the connections there, but
homeboy knows us, man.
He does. He knows us well. He was like, what can I bring you from bourbon country? And I was like, I like the turkey, hashtag gobble gobble. So, man, it was just really great. It was good to see you, Drew, and man, all your great friends, and it was so good to reconnect with y'all. So,
absolutely.
Yep.
Wait, I got one more gift that came in the mail.
Yeah.
So this comes in from.
That looks like it came from like a stalker or something. Did you open that up and it had like a bunch of cutout magazine squares?
Well, no. Now, see, it comes from a Dale Levine. Dale. Now, is that's that character from that show, King of the Hill, right? Isn't there Dale on
I think it's either that or that NASCAR driver.
Is there a NASCAR?
One or the other.
Dale's probably like Smith in NASCAR.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah. All right. So we got Dale Levine here. Let's see what we got here. Now, of course, this is from our good friends and podcasting brother, Brian Levine.
Good friend Brian.
Oh man. Okay. All right. We got a Disney park celebrates the release of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Now playing with a little BB-8, holding that up there for the live show right there. Look at that right there.
That is so
Isn't
cool.
that great? That's so cool. I wonder. All right, so he's got a note as well. It says, Beau, thought you might enjoy this. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Brian.
Man, well, what a treat, man.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Heck, dude, this is awesome.
You're ready for your next Comic-Con.
I'm wondering, with as much as like Brian like lives at Disney World, I'm wondering if like he was there for the actual release. Like it says celebration, the release of Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Brian, were you there? I think I did see him tweeting in.
He's tweeting in asking about John David Kardashian, so maybe we can get him to.
Can we never talk about John David Kardashian again?
Yeah, okay. Remember, one day I do hope to have kids. Hey, real quick, and we'll have to have this edited for the real show. But apparently, I'm coming in a little hot on our thing. You got it fixed?
I got it fixed.
Okay, wait, I see like a red thing going on there.
Hang on, let's see. You're coming in too soft before, so I had to.
Beau, now you have faded out some.
Interesting.
That's from Greg. And then Kurt says, you turn JD up a little too much. He's clipping a bit.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Sometimes we just don't always get it right, But Beau gets it right a lot more than I do. If I get it wrong, I just add a little more Black Cavendish, All
right.
It's really easy to fix.
We'll have to keep an eye on that then. So that's going to be fun, which means I won't be able to keep as much of an eye on Twitter. But yeah, it's all right. That's okay. We're gonna power through.
No, I got it. We're in good shape.
All right. So just so we should be there. Get there. Sorry, Mike, on the back end here, and we're gonna pick up the show right now. All right. Awesome gift. You'll be seeing Brian pretty soon.
I will. Yeah, I'm actually going another announcement going to the Chicago Pipe Show this week, which I'm really excited about. So Chicago, of course, the right around the first weekend of May every year. And it's going to be great. I'll be flying up on Thursday the 4th and coming back on Sunday the 7th. And just really looking forward to seeing some great friends. The pipe tobacco community is just so it's so tight knit nowadays. Just as our whole kind of pipe culture has rallied together, particularly during the time of just government intervention and all that kind of stuff. So we just kind of know each other a lot better, even over the past year. And man, just really excited about linking up with some carvers, linking up with some other blenders and some other retailers, and learning about some new products out there. So it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's always a great time.
Right on, man. I think it's gonna be a blast. I wish I could be out there with everybody, but I know you'll be linking up and having kind of a meetup of sorts. So be sure, if you are going to the Chicago Pipe Show,
follow me.
Follow at John David Cole
on Twitter.
He spells his name Jon.
That's right. It's Jonathan David, but we go by John David. So did I ever tell y'all the way I forgot that name? Did that ever come out?
I would just assume your parents came up with it, but where did they come up with it?
Did you know, Beau, and we've got one more announcement after this, but just as a quick aside, I went by Jonathan Cole for the first like 18 years of my life. I went by Jonathan. And so everyone knew me as Jonathan. Matter of fact, today, if someone calls me Jonathan, I know it's like a really old friend. That's something that just kind of comes back from the past. It's kind of funny. But I went to college. I went to Mississippi State in 2002, and I pledged a fraternity. And there were 2 Jonathan Coles in my fraternity. And my middle name was David, and the other guy's middle name was Wayne. And they were not going to call him John Wayne.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted them to really, really bad, but they were not going to call him John Wayne. And so they started calling me John David, and it stuck. And so, yeah, just, now my, mom calls me John David. My best friends call me John David. But I know if someone calls me Jonathan, I know that's like a really old friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It goes way back.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
Good to learn a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes of John David Cole's origin story. Hey, I'm gonna get you to do this.
What do you need from me?
Pull back a little bit on the mic.
Okay.
So I know normally we're like right up on it. For whatever reason,
we're struggling tonight.
Yeah,
sorry, guys. We really are sorry. Normally we have all this kind of worked out on the front end, but
yeah. All right. So there we go. Big announcement. Sorry, guys. Yeah, like John David said, the live show, we're just kind of, for whatever reason, it's technology is rebelling.
It's a little choppy.
It's gonna be what it is. All right. All right. So big announcement. After all that, big announcement.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the big announcement? John David Cole, are you ready for the big announcement?
I think I'm ready.
Okay, so here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me drink my drink.
Okay, yeah, take a swig. So those of you who've been tuning in for some time, and even in just the last couple of episodes, we've mentioned that we have a pretty big milestone on the horizon.
It really is amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, we are coming up on our 200th episode of Country Squire Radio.
That is insane.
Yep.
Like it is insane. I mean, I know, our episodes, we haven't sat down literally at all of them. Some of them have been a recording. Some of them have been Timothy or Caleb or, other folks. But you and I virtually have gotten together 200 times and done exactly what we're doing right now. It's just wild.
Yeah, no, it's been a fun journey, man. But we need to celebrate the fact that we are coming up on this milestone right here. And we've kicked around the idea. We put it out to you. We've been trying to think of what makes the most sense for us to celebrate this milestone. Yeah. And I think we've come up with something pretty good.
What you got?
All right. On June 5th. That is the date in which we will be recording our 200th episode.
That's the first Monday in June 2017.
We are going to throw the party of the century. Right here in the Country Squire. We're going to have a live recording of the live show, which we do, right? This is live right now.
That's right.
But we are going to open the doors and actually it'll be limited seating, but you'll be able to come in and get a seat and actually sit here as part of the live audience for when we record the 200th episode, followed up by a party. We'll have cake. We'll have a little bit of adult beverage, and it's going to be a blast.
It's going to be exciting.
So we got to figure out exactly the how many seats we're going to have, because it is going to be limited seating. With the Country Squire. I don't know if I'm sure in the theater of their mind this place is like this huge. Yeah. But in fact, no, it is not a small mom and pop shop. But it's not.
We're limited in our space.
It's very limited,
particularly for a live event involving a podcast, where people kind of have to sit and be a little more formal during a season. We'll kick it up and get a little more loose after that. But we're gonna have to have chairs arranged so people can sit still.
I'm thinking we can get 20 people.
You think 20? It'll be between 15 and 20.
Somewhere in between.
It'll be between 15.
So here's what to do. Details are going to come out this week. So be watching on Facebook, on Twitter. We'll be putting out a link, probably using Eventbrite, for people to purchase their tickets. Now, if you are a club member, certainly if you are at the Squire level, tickets are going to be free. So it's just a matter of you actually signing up and reserving your ticket.
Yeah.
So we'll have all of that information. We'll also, if you're a patron, there'll also be kind of some discounts for you as well. But basically, for those that are supporting the show financially, there'll be discounts involved for sure. And the rest of the information will come out this week. So keep an eye on Facebook and Twitter for all of that great information. And they will be limited. So once they're gone, they're gone.
They're gone. That's right. It's so exciting though. We're looking forward to just having the opportunity to, share this kind of important moment in our story and the shop story, with you guys, even in person. So. Come one, come all. We'd love to have you.
It's going to be fun, man. Yeah. It's going to be absolutely fun.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the announcement.
I've got one more.
Yeah.
One more announcement. We have a new pipe club that has actually gotten in touch with us.
What?
And it's a Mississippi pipe club.
Whoa.
I know, right?
Whoa.
I know. This is it's kind of awesome.
I know it's great. Have you talked to?
I told Briar,
okay,
who's the president of our local Magnolia Pipe Club.
That's right.
And Briar was all about it.
Okay,
Briar was all about it. Of course, Briar, good friend of the show, good friend of Country Squire, and Bowser's Castle is his private blend. Of course, it's one of our house blends here at the shop, and anyway, Briar, president of Magnolia Pipe Club, I was like, hey, Briar, we've got a new pipe club here in Mississippi, and it's in Tupelo, and it has a name now, and it is the Southern Briar Pipe Club. And man, isn't that great? So,
Okay,
man,
all
there's
right.
a growing enthusiastic group of pipe smokers up in the northeast part of our state.
So you said Tupelo?
Tupelo, yeah,
Oh, that's
home of
great.
Elvis Presley. That's right.
Yeah.
And so Tupelo is one of the larger cities in the state of Mississippi. Real beautiful town. I think Northeast Mississippi is one of the prettiest parts of our state. Just real pretty up in that part. But
That's awesome.
anyway, they standing invitation for anyone in Northeast Mississippi. If you're anywhere from New Albany up to around Corinth or anywhere in that area, Starkville, Oxford, they would love to have you. It's the Southern Briar Pipe Club. It meets at 6 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month at Spring Street Cigars there in historic Tupelo.
Yeah, now that is
and it's
beautiful...
a sweet shop from what I've heard.
Yeah.
I've never been there, but I've heard it's an awesome shop.
So I went there probably probably close to about 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer. I was up in Tupelo. I was actually meeting another podcaster out that way who does a podcast about the Flash. We've got another podcast called Flash TV Talk about the CW's Flash.
Yeah.
But there's a podcast called Starkville Labs that is about the CW's Flash, and one of the podcasters out that way lives up in Tupelo. So I was visiting him. And I, as I always do whenever I go to a new town, I always inquire as to what the local pipe and cigar scene is. Went to that shop, and man, it's one of these shops. Now that one is kind of sprawling, and it's like a double layer type deal. So they got a balcony even, and kind of a nice little club level, and they've got dogs running around up in there. It's
someone let the dogs out.
Yeah. It's man, that is a beautiful shop, and I'll actually, because of my Flash podcast, I made a bet that it's looking like this week I will probably lose, and if I lose, that means I'll be making a trip to Tupelo.
Oh, look at that!
So I may actually be.
There
up
might
there.
even be a reason for you to go.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to connect with folks. That makes me so happy.
Well, that's good. If you're in North Mississippi and are a pipe enthusiast, can make the trip to lovely Tupelo second Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at Spring Street Cigars.
Sounds good, man. Sounds absolutely good. All right. So congrats to them for kicking off their show. And before we kick off this show, we've got to give a huge shout out to 2 brand new Country Squire Radio Pipe Club members.
Ta-da!
All right, here we go. We got Christopher Deary.
I would say it's probably Christopher Deere. At this point, you're just trying to butcher him.
No. There are 3 E's.
No, you're right. There's a E on the end of his name, but that's Christopher Deere.
I'm saying when you got 3 E's involved, like there needs to be an E somewhere in there. But Christopher, and then also we've got John Michael Fody.
Right.
Okay, good. John Michael Fody. That we so hopefully we have welcomed you by sufficiently butchering your names. Big ups to you guys for joining, both at the Squire level.
That's a rite of passage. Yes, yeah, both at the Squire level. Man, we're so excited to get these, and of course, this is the most important way you can be active with us to help the show go. And man, we're just honored to have you as a critical part of what we're doing. And welcome to the club.
Absolutely.
It's great.
You guys are great, man. All right. So here we go. Tonight we have got a show. We're going to be talking about a pipe that has been actually requested. This actually came from a pipe club member, a Country Squire Radio Pipe Club member. A while back, we actually asked new members, what they would like to see in terms of shows that we do.
Yeah, some content.
Yeah, exactly. And so this actually came in from Steve Benetham, who wrote in saying, how about an episode that explores the, quote, dress pipe? Dunhill and Standwell each have versions that are gorgeous, glossy black, and there are others out there as well. So Steve has asked, how about an episode dedicated to the dress pipe? I'm glad he did. I don't know what a dress pipe is. Well, I assumed it was a pipe in a dress.
It's a pipe made of dresses. That's right.
Oh,
that's right.
Okay.
So it's particularly, It works great for those pioneer 19th century women that like the old
Dr. Quinn
kind of thing. Yeah, it works great for that.
Oh,
a dress pipe obviously is something that you smoke when you're dressed up, and the definitions obviously are kind of all over the map, but for the purposes of what we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to talk about a pipe that you would use with a tuxedo. If you're going out on the town,
right.
think James Bond, think bow tie, black suit, tuxedo, you're driving your BMW, you're at we're really suffering tonight. Sorry guys. This is really driving me crazy.
me as well. Me as well.
Is it? Do we need to do check? Check, check, check.
Yep, yeah, that's better.
Is it okay?
Yep.
Can y'all hear us okay?
There we go. I think that got what we needed to get right there.
Working okay.
Grant us some grace, guys. Sorry about it.
Okay. Well, hopefully that's okay.
We're all good.
Okay. I don't want to do that again. I really don't want to do that again.
We'll power through.
I really don't want to do it again. So tonight we're talking about dress pipes, and of course the classic definition of a dress pipe is the pipe that you would wear or use while you're smoking, and while you're wearing a tuxedo. And so think, you're going to a black tie event. There's, martinis and, soft, jazz music in the background and elegant swing dancing maybe. And, you're
elegant
out by,
swing dancing.
I'm just saying, these things that you think of at a really formal black tie event. Maybe you're going to an inaugural ball or something of this nature.
It's your prom.
You're going to prom. That's right. So we're talking about a pipe that you would wear while you wear a tuxedo. And so anyway, think of a black tie event. What would you wear, or what would you smoke while you're wearing that kind of outfit in that kind of formal style event? And as you can imagine, this is obviously a very subjective kind of topic, right? And so we've got dress pipe. Well, we've got friends that don't even own suits. You know what I mean? Like, and then you've got people like our friend Briar that he's never out of a suit. And so for our friend and local pipe carver too, getting dressed up might be not wearing overalls one day.
No, I've seen him in a suit.
And it's kind of weird.
He looks like a mob boss.
I kind of need him to go back to the overalls.
I know it like it's like him in a suit is one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
And I say that with love, respect, and all fear that is associated.
Exactly. So you've got that, but then you've got like Briar, who if Briar's going to dress up, well, black tie is not even good enough. It's going to be white tie. He's just he's going to take it to the opposite extreme, and you're going to have cufflinks and the pocket watch and all these other things. And so so a dress pipe, this is on a spectrum, right? Some people are going to probably have some disagreements on this, but for what we're going with tonight, I kind of wanted to talk about a pipe that of course would be kind of defined as a classical dress pipe by just pipedom. So you think in the 20th century, the dress pipe was introduced by Dunhill, and Dunhill came out with a pipe that was jet black. They had to stain it a whole bunch of times. These pipes had zero ornamentation at all, and eventually wound up having just small delicate bands, perhaps like only a band that had sterling silver or something like that, but no crazy designs, no ornamentation, no wild stems or any strange colors or anything. And typically these pipes as well were also straight pipes too, and so just real elegant straight pipes, simple, top shelf, but also not flashy. Think top shelf, but not flashy, understated, not gaudy. Something that you wanted to, just really pull out to express the fact that you knew what you were doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So this is not the time to pull out your church warden.
No.
Right.
You're going to the Penguin Club, see? And you're like pull up with the limo, and there's the piano playing, and then you go up to the lounge, you order a martini, and you pull out your pipe, and you want to make sure it's nice, clean, elegant. That's the thing. You're putting it out there, but you don't necessarily want to draw too much attention to it. After all, that's
subdued gentlemen. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
So we're talking tonight about pipes that are high quality, generally easy to carry, very formal. So what would James Bond smoke? Let's talk about that. The simple pipe, kind of understated. A confident pipe. So something that is, probably a higher end pipe, something that, and something also that about. If someone asks you, you're at an event and you've light up your pipe around someone that barely knows anything about pipe smoking, well, you're confident about it. You want to be able to tell the story of the brand or the carver or the tobacco and all those kinds of things. And probably most importantly, Beau, pipes that are dress pipes for our purposes tonight are not tacky. You
No,
know,
no calabash pipes.
yeah, I mean, but you just probably, you're just going to keep it simple,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, do these pipes have to be expensive pipes? Well, traditionally, dress pipes, if you Google, dress briar pipe, you're going to come up with a bunch of Dunhills and Costellos, which we'll talk about shortly. But, these are pipes that are going to start, around $500 and kind of go up from there. So, so a traditional dress pipe, something that has, got just incredible briar that's been aged for a long time, maybe cured in a specific way, multiple layers of black stain, glossy finish, hand cut ebonite or acrylic stem. You're gonna pay a lot for pipes like that. But there are alternatives that aren't quite as expensive. What I like is that if you're shooting for a dress pipe, you probably want something that is maybe not necessarily expensive, but does have some kind of pedigree. You know what I mean? It's like if I came up to you,
Mm.
at a event like this, and like, oh well, we're going to be kind of smug, and oh, you're a pipe smoker, I'm also a pipe smoker. No, that's really nice. I see that you're smoking a Chacombe there. Well, that's quite a nice pipe. Yeah, but you don't.
As we talk to each other that way all the time. Yeah.
No, because this is how we talk to each other in
Right,
Jackson,
right.
Mississippi. But it's that's just you want to be able to say like, oh, this is a pipe that has kind of a pedigree. It's kind of got a story.
Oh yeah, there, son. That's a pipe that I got from my daddy. That's the
Man, I
story right
carved
there.
that
That
out.
one.
I carved that out the gourd in the backyard.
That's right. That's right. That's what I did right there. I used to have one of them fancy pipes, but I don't smoke this.
That's right.
All right.
Generally, also dress pipes tend to be straight pipes, and so I think that's for a variety of reasons. Now we think about when was the dress pipe kind of developed as a concept. Okay, this was in the 50s and 60s. What was the average pipe of the 20th century? Well, it was a straight pipe. So
Billiard.
it's straight billiard, maybe an apple, straight Dublin, a bulldog, something of this nature. Bent pipes were not nearly as popular as they are today until later on in the 1980s and 90s. I think in the 70s you had all these kind of Danish freehand influences coming through, and then just as the market changed, you had a lot of bent pipes that were starting to be produced. And nowadays, a retailer like me, when I order 10 pipes, well, 8 of them have to be bent pipes and only 2 straight pipes, because I just know the straight pipes are going to sit on the shelf. It's kind
Interesting.
of funny, but historically, certainly during the 20th century, straight pipes were that was the main pipe that was out there, the main pipe.
Would the convenience of travel, I mean, I think about if I'm wearing a tuxedo, but I'm also carrying a pipe. I mean, today, if I'm got my pipe with me, I've got a whole bag associated with it, right?
Yeah.
But like if it's like, back in the day where it's a little bit more kind of practical in terms of me carrying all my things, I would wonder if like maybe the straight pipe is easier for me to slip into my like coat pocket or something.
I think that's part of the idea, particularly with the dress pipe too. You've got something that is easy to conceal. You're going to tuck it away. Maybe it's kind of slimlined, and you can kind of keep it hidden easily or something until you're ready to pull it out. So anyway, just something to think about. I think for our purposes tonight, we'll talk about mostly straight pipes. And then most importantly, I think of all this, like we mentioned before, a simple pipe. Dress pipes historically are known to be either black or very dark in color. So think about something that's going to be kind of subdued, something that's understated. It shows quality, but also is not flashy. Not
What's got to match your tux?
Not something over the top. That's right.
You don't wear brown shoes with the black suit.
Right. Yeah. It's the same exact thing. Yeah. And you also don't want the pipe to overpower your whole ensemble as well. Now I'm talking like as if I know something about fashion. I obviously don't. But when you think about it just practically, it's like you're already making a statement. You're wearing a tuxedo. You're already making another statement. You're smoking a pipe.
Right.
Like you don't necessarily need to pull out like this crazy gaudy like a meerschaum or something. I mean, I don't know. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I can't even imagine like just any again, I'm thinking about like that classic, kind of the dance club of of the 60s. I guess in my mind, I'm actually envisioning like the 20s to some extent in terms of like some of these like club settings and
No,
everything.
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you had like the roaring 20s and the flappers and the club was very lively, but yet everybody was dressed as if they were like going to, a wedding or something of that nature. And so, but even still kind of carrying it through, it is a little like bizarre. I mean, you think about some of those meerschaum pipes with like the giant sultan heads and everything else, like to try to like do that, like, oh, just I'm gonna sit down after all this dancing and drink some of my champagne and whip out this massive,
I know, right?
this like monument of this person.
That's right? Exactly right. It just doesn't speak understated. That I think that's kind of the opposite of that.
Right.
So anyway, a few options for dress pipes I just wanted to kind of tote out for our listeners to keep in mind and think about. And we'd love to hear, obviously these are just my ideas of what a dress pipe is. And you might be like, man, a dress pipe is just the pipe I smoke when I am not wearing overalls, so
when I'm not dressed.
Or when I'm not dressed. Yeah. It's like the opposite of that. So, which is kind of terrifying, but so that might be your, your Missouri meerschaum, for instance, or whatever. But anyway, for our purposes tonight, a dress pipe is going to kind of follow some of these tenets, and just a few I wanted to mention. Of course, the Dunhill dress pipe is what we have to mention first. Dunhill dress pipes, they're kind of obviously they blaze this trail. They'll be anywhere from $500 to $800 brand new. And it's funny because you would think with a pipe that has been stained so black that you can't even see the grain, you would think that like, well, if the grain isn't visible, then that would make it a cheaper pipe. And probably that would be the case with any brand other than Dunhill. But with Dunhill, it's like this, it's just, this is a name, and and then it's the dress pipe. So, is the pipe better than, hand carved, Scott Teeley or something? No, it's not. Or, hand carved, pick your favorite carver.
Sure.
And it, it's probably not, but it's a Dunhill. And so you're going to pay a little more for that. They're more limited, and, it's just the nature of it.
Well,
so,
I mean, you're talking about, you get into fashion, which is, extremely, I mean, you mentioned it before, extremely subjective.
Yeah, it's just subjective.
And like, people will pay, I mean, it's the exact same cloth, the exact same material, but then it has a designer name on it.
That's right.
Now, I mean, obviously this serves a function, an actual function, which, arguably speaking, some things in the fashion world do not serve nearly as important a function, but even still, like, there's a lot going on there.
That's right. So anyway, the Dunhill dress pipe, but we have to mention it. It's a jet black finish, and it is coated multiple times in a dark black stain, and it's got a real nice shiny finish on it. They use ebonite stems on Dunhill pipes, which is always really nice. I'm a big fan of ebonite stems. And I would recommend, like, if you're kind of shooting for this type of pipe, a group 2 or group 3, which is going to be kind of a small to medium sized pipe bowl, something you could conceal, relatively easily. Is it worth it? That's for everyone to discuss. So Dunhill's first. The next I would mention an Italian brand, Castello. Castello, been around for years. We haven't talked about them much on the show, but just an incredible hand finished brand. And again, kind of same, if you, as Dunhill is to Great Britain, Castello is to Italy, that kind of thing. Beautiful pipes. They're Perla Nera is the kind of the one you might want to look at. Again, it's going to be around $500, but this would be your grandfather's pipe if your grandfather were from Venice and not New Jersey. Yeah. I mean, really, it's like, it's a very simple, clean lined pipe, but you look at it and you're like, well, those are Italian pipes. I mean, that's an Italian pipe. The style is just going to be a little different. It's going to be
first generation Briar right there.
No, that's right. It's going to be, kind of, maybe some aggressive lines, but it's simple, which is really nice. So, anyway, I definitely would recommend those. Also, on the another favorite of a higher end pipe, the Savinelli, and of course I'm going to butcher this, the Giubelio de Oro. I've never been able to say that. It's Giubileo. Giubileo de Oro.
Yes.
And Giubileo is Italian for Jubilee. And that is their highest end production pipe from Savinelli. And so, like less than 0.1% of the briar that goes through the Savinelli factory makes it to the Gibilio de Oro shelf, because it's just, they're that meticulous. This is their highest, production machine made pipe that they come out with. So you compare it to a Costello or a Dunhill or something of that nature. These are pipes that are super high grain. I really like, for the dress kind of pipe, I really like the sandblasted version, which has a dark, rich stain. And you can kind of compare it to a Dunhill shell briar. Something that they're going to pay really close attention to the cross grain of that. So when they sandblast it, it'll have very distinct cross grain, kind of wavy blast lines on there, which I think is really attractive, especially on that dark stain. The shapes I might point you to would be a 128 or a 313. The 128 is kind of a petite billiard. It's just one of my favorite shapes that Savinelli makes right now. And the 313, of course, we're all suckers for the print shape. Just got a beautiful, elegant prints. These are, just very simple pipes, no ornamentation. There's kind of a nice little brass dot on the top of each stem that just makes it stand out. You're smoking something of quality. But the Gibilio de Oro is going to be anywhere from $500 to $900, and so
whoa,
these are all expensive pipes. Yeah, these are not budget pipes.
No, this I guess if you're the type that's going to get up and dress up in tux every weekend, then you could probably afford it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, the closest I'll probably ever come, honestly, to owning a dress pipe is this Dunhill. It's a shell briar right here I'm smoking. You can kind of see too, Beau, just as I hold it up to the light, just the incredible ring grain that this pipe has. This pipe brand new, it probably, would start around $450. I bought this off some schmuck for $100. So, he's not a schmuck. He was very kind, but anyway, if you catch them right, you can find them at a good price point. But
that is a beauty.
But anyway, something that's just got a really dark, nice stain, clean lines. And a few options too, if you want something that is considered a dress pipe but isn't going to cost you $500. Just a few options I thought I'd point out. Peterson has a beautiful pipe, and it's something that we've never even had in the shop here, so I'm interested to learn more about it just as time goes on. But it's the Killarney pipe, but it's the Killarney.
Killarney.
It's the Killarney ebony pipe.
Though. Killarney ebony pipe, of course. Yeah,
the Killarney pipe has been around forever, of course, but I'm not as familiar with the ebony version. The Killarney pipe is just a beautiful, rich red grain, almost kind of a crimson color. It's just really, really pretty, glossy finish with a nice ebonite stem.
Like the color of my sweetheart's hair.
That's right. Except whatever. So you got this Peterson that's normally like that. Well, they've got an ebony version, which is just a real glossy, rich, syrupy black that's really nice. It's got two very elegant, small chrome bands that kind of are right around the end of the shank right there. Just looks really nice. And so you might go with like a 106, which is a billiard, or the 150, which is a straight bulldog. Or if you did want a bent version, maybe a B11, which would be the bent brandy.
When did the ornamentation come into play? Because you'd mentioned like starting out, it was very much like, as black as you can get all the way through.
Yeah, just real simple,
details.
no ornamentation. Yeah.
So when did ornamentation start coming into play?
I don't know. My guess is probably not long thereafter, because people are always starting to, trying to innovate in different ways. But I think with a dress pipe, again, you're not looking for, you're not necessarily pulling out your freehand. You're not pulling out your Petter Jeppesen hand carved, that has all the crazy lines that he's gone after to accentuate the grain or whatever. This is a very simple pipe.
Yeah, the goal for dress pipe, from the sound of things, it's about coordination. You want to make sure that it fits the events and your style of dress and everything else, as opposed to if you go into the pipe club and you want to like show off, something crazy and special and such.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
So the Peterson Killarney ebony is going to run you around $140.
Oh, that's much more in the price range of what I can afford.
Somewhere in there. The Chacombe sandblasted pipe is also a good one. How's your French accent?
Oh, oui, yes. The French. What is it? What is it called again?
It's just the Chacombe sandblasted.
Chacombe.
It's so lame. Oh, it's so wonderfully lame. So anyway, the Chacombe sandblasted pipe is just their sandblasted pipe. It's very simple. They always have a nice kind of rich black stain on there, almost a ink, dark ink black. It's really nice. But it's a very simple pipe. The band, it has a small silver band on there, and then of course their emblem, the CC, is on the side of the stem. But other than that, it's basically an entirely black pipe, real elegant, and those will run you about 130. And then one other I'll mention, the Stanwell Black Diamond. Stanwell, of course, really old brand. We love Stanwell. We've sold them at the shop forever. Generally, traditionally made in Denmark, but now manufactured in Great Britain. And the Stanwell Black Diamond, they have a kind of an oily charcoal finish. I don't know. It's kind of you can see some of the grain on it, but it's still dark enough to just be a nice subdued, clean looking pipe that I think is very, very confident. Anyway, they come in just a variety of shapes, as you can imagine, and those are going to be around 110, which is a great price point for a Stanwell. That's all I got, baby.
Je ne sais quoi, French. I was trying to find my French accent. I missed all of that, but it sounds very good. That's not very good either. I think I went Swedish somewhere in there.
I think you might have bork.
Are there? Well, anyway, it is funny when you were starting out thinking about like dress pipes. I hadn't thought about the idea of a pipe made of dresses. However, the idea of a dress made of pipes did enter into my mind. I think about the Nording pipe that you'll be seeing very soon here, which is completely made out of Nording pipes. The giant one
that's right. Yeah,
I wonder if Nording should also make a dress out of Nording pipes in the same fashion, and that could be the Nording dress pipe. I think that would be really great.
We should talk to Eric about that.
It is interesting. I cannot imagine. We've had so many people actually tweet in during the show. We'll get into it, I'm sure, and you're kind of pulling it up right now, actually.
Yeah.
We've had so many people tweet in with kind of their personal dress pipes that they own. For me, it's hard to imagine a scenario shy of a few people's weddings that I can think of where I would actually need a dress pipe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand. And as someone even pointed out, a lot of times, if you're going to a black tie event, who's going to let you smoke a pipe at a black tie event nowadays?
It depends.
And so, if you're outside, hopefully there's a, some kind of veranda or something that you can step out on, and, or cocktail patio or something back by the gazebo. That you could kind of enjoy your pipe at, but you're not going to light up your pipe probably in someone's formal dining room.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. But I do think of
sadly, but I mean that's the case.
If you can get yourself into like some of these like back room cigar lounge type of situations, everybody's wearing a tuxedo, and then there's kind of a room in the back where all the guys are enjoying cigars, and then you bust out your pipe. And, I think that there could be a scenario, but I mean, you have to kind of climb the social ladder.
Yeah, climb the ladder a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know that we're high enough on there to get in those.
Definitely not.
Well, you probably are. You supply the cigars for for all the influencers.
They'd let me into white tables, I think. So I'd be in a tuxedo, but I'd be wearing the short sleeves.
As you were scanning Twitter, did you see some of the listeners and such and some of their pipes that they mentioned?
Yeah, a few folks. Let's see. We've got. Looks like Pappy Joe actually purchased his at an antique street fair for $3, so he certainly didn't pay $500 for his. Kilted Pipe Guy says, my dress pipe is actually bent. A nice black Vermont freehand egg. It's a great smoker, too. We've got some folks requesting what an undressed pipe would look like, which is kind of nice.
Let's not meme that. That.
Probably not wise. And
you could take another card. Never mind.
Yeah.
Nope.
And of course, at Cigar Man Smokes says my dress pipe is my Missouri Meerschaum Country Gentleman, which of course makes one of our favorite sponsors happy. So
absolutely. In fact, I was thinking based on that ringing endorsement, perhaps we should throw out the script and make the Country Gentleman sponsor for this week's episode.
That's probably right.
I mean, think about it. We love the good folks at Missouri Meerschaum and all the wonderful things that they've brought to the pipe world. And I think there is nothing wrong with having the Country Gentleman as your go-to for when you want to represent. That is a fine pipe. that is carved, manufactured, and looks so beautiful, smokes so well. The Country Gentleman from Missouri Meerschaum. If you're looking for a good quality corncob pipe, look no further. Show of hands. How many of us own a Country Gentleman? How many of us own two?
I own one.
I own two. I love the Country Gentleman, man. It is one of my favorite pipes, if not the favorite pipe of mine from Missouri Meerschaum. So check it out. Smoke your Country Gentleman this week. Take a picture of it, tweet it to us. We'll retweet it out. We love to show the folks at Missouri Meerschaum how much you love them for helping make this show happen. All right, pipe question of the week this week. This actually comes in from Ryan, and he is from Houma, LA, which I guess means Louisiana.
Houma, Louisiana.
Houma, Louisiana.
Yep.
Okay. Humana.
Yep.
All right. He says, hey, fellas, I just tried Cornell and Deal's Crooner for the first time, which is supposedly based on Bing Crosby's personal blend. A key component to Crooner is deer tongue tobacco. Upon opening the tin, the note is pretty unique. It was a mix between a sweet oatmeal-like sweetness and herbal tea. When I smoked it, I noticed there was quite a nicotine kick, and some of the underlying flavors matched the tin note. So, what are the processes for deer tongue goes through? What makes it so unique? Thanks, guys. Keep up the great work. And again, that is from Ryan in Louisiana. Deer tongue tobacco.
Yeah.
Okay. What is deer tongue tobacco?
Well, deer tongue, it's actually not a tobacco. This is kind of fascinating, and
It's a tongue.
It's a tongue. It is a deer tongue. No, it's actually herb. It's actually a plant that is native to the East Coast, southern East Coast of the United States, typically known as Carolina vanilla. This is interesting. Of course, deer tongue is not very used in tobacco blends as much as it used to be. But it's an herb. It's a plant, and so Cornell and Deal does market this as deer tongue tobacco. This is not. I'm not exactly sure how they would define that. I'd be interested to talk to maybe our friend Jeremy at Cornell and Deal about what is deer tongue tobacco, because deer tongue is not a tobacco. They might be using a certain variety and maybe flavoring it with the essence of deer tongue or something like that.
Yeah.
But deer tongue is an herb. It was used for the majority of the 20th century in a lot of old school blends. You had I think blends like Half and Half and Granger. Had portions of deer tongue in there. The deer tongue is it kind of provides a sweet vanilla minty flavor, depending on who you talk to. Yeah, it's a very interesting tobacco, so it's immediately very recognizable. Some people find it very distasteful. It's kind of I think some people find it kind of bitter, and so it's a very polarizing ingredient, for tobaccos. But it actually is not commonly used anymore. You can find that quote unquote essence of deer tongue in tobaccos now, and the reason for that is that the deer tongue was actually banned by the FDA back in the early, I think it was either the early 60s or the late 50s.
Oh, snap.
And it was banned by the FDA in food products. And so you had a lot of tobacco blenders that since then have kind of, shied away from it, even though it's not tobacco's not a food product, obviously.
Right.
And so, but you have had blenders kind of shy away from it. To be honest, I'm not sure the legality of using actual deer tongue herb anymore in tobacco.
Why was it banned?
But okay, so apparently the active ingredient in it is something called coumarin, Coumarin, I think is how you spell that.
All right.
And the coumarin, it's what provides the herb with such an incredibly strong, distinctive flavor, but it also apparently has a really harsh effect on your liver. There's something really tough that it does to your liver, and so as a food additive, as a flavoring for things like ice creams and candies, it was banned for that reason.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so a lot the pipe folks kind of, I think over the years, have kind of taken a cue from that. But you can still get the essence of deer tongue and things, and I think that's what Cornell and Deal is doing here.
Kind of going for that vanilla mint flavor.
I think maybe that's kind of what they're doing. Yeah. So to be real honest, I don't want to mislead anyone, but I have not smoked the Crooner tobacco from Cornell and Deal, so I can't talk about it. with personal experience. But something to keep in mind, I would love to know if any of your other tobaccos, anyone that's listening, favorite tobaccos feature, deer tongue, and kind of what your perspective is on that. I think that's great.
Well, it's a great question. We really appreciate getting that in. Yeah, so that's again from Ryan from Louisiana. If have you smoked any deer tongue flavored tobaccos? Let us know. We'd love to get your thoughts in. And
Yeah,
hey,
what do you think about it?
if you've got a pipe question of the week, send it in. You can send it in to Country Squire Radio. Nope, to show at countrysquireradio.com. Quick fire questions. All right. All right, so these come in from the good folks at thispipelife.com. More on thispipelife.com in a moment. This is from Dutch X on either side. So X Dutch X, right?
X Dutch X.
Usernames. That's what you got to do.
That's it, baby.
All right, here we go. Digital versus analog.
And that's all we get, just digital versus analog.
Generally speaking, digital versus analog, if I'm not mistaken, this might be my background, but this is two technologies that have kind of driven the cellular mobile world. Your Nokia brick phone was on an analog system.
Okay.
Your iPhone is actually past digital, but your first iPhone is on a digital system.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go with digital. Now, if you're talking about a watch, like just a watch where it's like digital time, like a, you see the numbers spelled out, or, I think of analog as being the, the old hands, then I would have to go with that. I would have to go with that.
Yeah. I mean,
but who uses a watch anymore, right?
That's interesting. Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I generally use analog as a bad word. If I get frustrated by the fact that someone's not progressing with the technological times that we live in, I get a little frustrated and be like, that's so analog.
You look at your sweet little daughter and you're like, you were so analog today.
No. If anything, man, these kids are way beyond that.
They're way too digital.
It might be something to that.
Right.
Single barrel versus single malt.
Single malt. I love bourbon. I do love whiskey, but I'm a Scotch drinker, and I do love single malt Scotch.
Yeah. Look, I'm a big bourbon fan.
Yeah.
But I'm a bigger Scotch fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm right there with you as well.
Yeah.
All right. Chemical laced tobacco versus proper tobacco.
I'm gonna go with proper tobacco.
Proper. Yeah.
I don't even know why this is a question.
I feel like that was almost kind of like he was teeing it up right there.
Chemical laced tobacco.
Who's going to say
I like that good stuff in it.
Who's going to say that? All right. And this is kind of a general, he had a couple of questions that I decided to kind of merge into this one. Romantic companionship or smoking your pipe?
Ooh, can it be both?
Oh!
I do love my pipe.
Drops the mic.
I'm just saying, we are very intimate.
Well, it depends on what time in life you're in. You know what I mean? Like, right now I'm in this phase where like the kids are eating up a lot of time, so I got to take the romantic companionship whenever I can get it.
That makes sense. I guess there are other stages in life where you're kind of digging your briar, maybe a little more than being around people, but I don't know. Don't we all kind of want romantic companionship a little more than anything else, like as far as a worldly sense goes?
Sure.
Yeah. I think most of us would want that.
No,
so,
I think so.
I'd probably go with that, but I sure
I don't know. Stick with your answer. Can it be both?
I sure do love my pipe. I sure do.
Hands off.
It is a romance.
It is.
The romance of pipe smoking.
All right, so there you go. Quick fire questions. Thanks so much. Again, that was from Dutch X or X Dutch X over on thispipelife.com. Thispipelife.com, an amazing online community that we encourage you to be a part of. Why? For a number of reasons, not the least of which is the forums where you can send in your quick fire questions there. We've got a thread. There's also great discussions. Pappy Joe actually mentioned during the live show tonight that they've been discussing dress pipes over at thispipelife.com.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah, so enter in the discussion. The other thing too is it's a website that's really big on visuals. So you get a lot of great pictures that come through of different pipes, different tobaccos. They've got a lot of events that go on as well, just as part of the online community. You can also follow them: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, This Pipe Life. Find them at thispipelife.com. By the way, when you register, be sure to use the code CSR, because when you do, it lets them know you heard about them on this podcast, and it's a great way to help out this podcast. So again, thispipelife.com. Use the code CSR when you register at thispipelife.com.
Yes, sir.
All right. Listener feedback. All right, man. We got some listener feedback. First one in from Blue Dog. What does Blue Dog say?
Let me cue it up here. Hold on a second. Blue Dog says, enjoy watching the CSR videos each Monday. longtime pipe and cigar smoker, 40 plus years. The YTPC and shows like yours,
YouTube pipe community,
and shows like yours have introduced me to many more blends in the last several years that in my previous 40 he didn't even know about. So just wondering if you recall back in the day a blend called Flying Dutchman. Yes, I smoked it a lot in the 1970s and was widely available over the counter and at K&B drugstores in the South. Wow, K&B drugstore. Do you remember the K&B drugstore we had at Highland Village? It was at Highland Village. I mean, it's right here. Wow, my grandmother took me to the K&B, man. It was great. Anyway, I don't recall when it ceased to exist. I have tried a match from some online retailer, but it did not taste like what I remember, probably due to a faulty memory or wrecked taste buds. Anyway, do you remember such a blend? And if so, can you recommend something out now that is similar? Again, appreciate your efforts and time to entertain and educate all of us. And that is from Blue Dog. Blue Dog, man, thanks for the comment and question too. I know of Flying Dutchman. I don't know. I've never tried it. So I can't tell you. My guess is it was Virginia, Burley, maybe Cavendish, that, like so many of the great blends from the mid, 20th century. But, I just don't know.
The Flying Dutchman was the ship of Davy Jones. I got that from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So I don't know. Well, but at the same time, they do loosely base their fiction on pirate lore and Nordic naval lore and that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure.
But Pappy Joe might know, actually. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know. I've actually never smoked Flying Dutchman, so I really don't know.
Well, I'm curious though if there might be some connection there in terms of like rum, perhaps. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. All right, we also got some listener feedback in from Luke the Duke. What did Luke say?
Luke said, "Hey, Beau and JD, I was listening to your podcast and subscribed to the radio channel because of it. I've been subscribed to the original Country Squire channel for a while now. Thank you for all that you do for the community. Best wishes from Kansas, Luke the Duke."
Kansas!
That's great.
Man, Luke, thanks so much for that.
Baby. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, if you would like to send in some listener feedback, we love getting these in. We also love getting iTunes reviews. So if you've not done so already, head over to iTunes, write us a review. We'd love to read those on the show. We also want to encourage you to support the show as well. Become a patron for just $1 an episode. You get the full archive of content that is available at patreon.com/Country Squire Radio. Become a patron, just $1 an episode. You get that full archive. You can also join the club at $3 an episode on up. And as we mentioned at the top of the show, we've got episode 200 right here on the horizon. It's going to be a live show. We want to encourage you, if you're in the area, if you want to travel down to the area, maybe you have not made your pipe pilgrimage yet. We want to encourage you. This is the time. 200. That only comes like once, I'm pretty sure.
Once every
ever
200 ever.
Yeah.
The next time it'll be 400 and it won't count.
It won't count because who cares about 400? But 200, man, that's the one right there. So
if you put up with me 400 times, you definitely deserve a medal.
Oh,
I tell you what, I'll buy you a medal. I'll buy you a medal.
Speaking of which, aren't you supposed to get a medal?
No.
Oh, you're not getting a medal?
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
No.
I'm sorry. Sore subject. My bad. But yeah. So we got a lot of great stuff. Again, JD will actually be in Chicago for the Chicago Pipe Show. Y'all see him, take selfies, say hi. And yes, be sure to keep up with him. You can follow us. You can follow the show at Squire Radio.
What are you, Beau?
I'm at the real Beau York.
I'm at John David Cole, or you can get us at the shop at @_Country Squire.
All that information and more can be found at your convenience at countrysquireradio.com. Well, man, it's been a night fraught with technical issues that have thrown us off. But I think all in all, we had a pretty good show. I know I learned a lot.
We
tonight.
had good friends, good tobacco, good whiskey, and we clobbered it, man.
Yeah,
it was great. It was great.
Or it did not clobber us.
Yeah, no, we something was clobbered, but it wasn't us.
Yeah.
For the most part.
part.
I'm just enjoying this pipe. I kind of feel like I need to go put on my tuxedo.
I like that. It is interesting because unintentionally, I actually did post out a picture of a dress pipe on Facebook earlier this week.
Yeah.
That pipe right there. I think that qualifies as a dress pipe.
Yeah, I think that looks like a Brebbia.
I can't figure out.
Is that your pipe? Beau?
No, I've been looking for this pipe for years.
I think that's a Brebbia. Actually, I think I know that exact pipe.
Ooh, all right. We'll have to talk about that.
Isn't that something?
Wait, until then, let's go have a night.
Y'all have a good night. See you.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Sorry about all the crazy microphone things. Man, I'm sorry about the.
No, it's okay. we worked it out, Beau. It worked out great.
It worked us out.
It worked us out. I had a couple, fingers of whiskey to get me through it, and everything's fine now. The whole world's fine. Fine.
And we all learned a valuable lesson about dress pipes.
That's right.
And what you dress your pipe, but you don't undress the tobacco.
Yeah. About that, Russ actually tweeted, and he was like, "Do you have a good dress tobacco recommendation?"
I saw that.
And I thought that was an interesting question. I don't know. We'd have to think about that. My guess is you would want something kind of similar to the pipe, something sophisticated but not flashy or gaudy. Something that maybe is crowd pleasing, but maybe not too crowd pleasing.
I might throw that in as the pipe question of the week next week.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is a follow up. Either there or for listener feedback.
Yeah, it's a good question.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are awesome.
Y'all have a great night. See ya.